Hello, social media followers, to a Sunday night edition of Dead Talk Live. I'm your host, Viz, with you from Walking Dead Now. We are broadcasting all over our social platforms. And as I just said that, it is Sunday night. Imagine after the season finale, I get on this show and we do an after show special. How amazing is that going to be? I mean, just think of it, okay? Why does Chris Hardwick get to have all the fun with his select 3 or 4 guests? Why can't we all come in here after the finale airs, whenever that is, and I will put the highlights together because I do have AMC Premiere. I'll put the highlights together and we can pick it apart scene by scene. I like that idea. I really like that idea, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it that Sunday night. I'm going to do it right after the East Coast showing, and then I'm going to do it again 3 hours later for the West Coast and everybody in between. We'll come in here. I'll have the highlights ready. We'll talk about the finale. We'll share our opinions and our theories for next year and everything else. I am psyched. That is what we are going to do. And I literally just thought of that as I was saying that Sunday night edition thing. So how is everyone doing tonight? Everyone good? I see you guys piling into the rooms. Thank you for joining me. It is currently a huge thunderstorm going on outside, so I hope it doesn't knock out the internet. We had some problems last night with Instagram disconnecting twice. I hope that doesn't happen again. Hello, Danielle. I'm seeing everybody's chat. You guys can all type in your questions. I will be opening up the phone lines again later on. And, you guys got to start calling because, in a short time from now, you're going to want to call and the phone lines are going to be jam-packed. The phone lines are going to be jam-packed. So, let's get those calls in early. You know what I'm saying? And what I was doing today, today I found out for our new podcast that you can have a trailer. You can have a podcast trailer. So I spent the majority of my day today creating a trailer for our Stay Walking podcast. And I wanted to be creative, intuitive. I wanted to create a video trailer, even though they recommend you just do an audio trailer. But why am I going to do an audio trailer for a video podcast? Because everything on there is all videos. So I did a video trailer. And I want to show it to you guys. I got it ready. I want to show it to you guys, and I want to get your guys' opinion on the trailer. Okay? So let me just play that right now, and then let me know what you guys think. Okay? They recommend it being under 2 minutes. It's a little over 1 minute and 50 seconds, but here you go. Thank you for visiting our Stay Walking video podcast, brought to you by TWD Now Productions. My name is Viz, and I strive to provide you with the very best in Walking Dead fan videos, which consist of compilations, tributes, commentary review, and our live stream discussion show called Dead Talk, hosted by myself. Dead Talk is simultaneously streamed to all of our social network platforms, which include YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Right after the show airs live, it gets uploaded to our podcast for you to watch if you missed the live broadcast. The majority of our videos are our own, but we encourage digital creators from around the globe to submit their fan videos to us so their work can receive the attention it deserves. Our discussions range into topics beyond The Walking Dead and into the horror genre in general. To make it simpler to navigate our podcast, I have divided it into 3 seasons. Season 1 consists of all of our fan videos. Season 2 is our commentary, review, and opinion. And finally, Season 3 has our live Dead Talk series. For more information, please visit our YouTube channel called Walking Dead Now. You can get to our channel directly by going to twdnow.com or searching YouTube for Walking Dead Now. We welcome your feedback and suggestions on our podcast by emailing me directly at feedback@twdnow.com. Thank you for visiting us, and I hope you subscribe. So there you guys have it. Do you guys like it? You think it's good enough? Do I sound too robotic? I don't want to sound robotic. I hate sounding robotic. That's why I love these live shows. I don't do any kind of script or any of that crap. I just want to wing it. You know, hi Alejandro from from Discord. Angelito on Facebook. I see your text. I don't speak or write Spanish. Do you know English? Because I would love to answer you. I'm seeing what you're writing. If anybody on Facebook can translate for Angelito, that would be great. So let me know what you guys, think of that. Give me a big thumbs up if you like that trailer. Do you think I should redo it? I played the Walking Dead theme music in the background. I don't know if you guys were able to hear it or not, but, I'm happy with it. It took me all day to put it together and be satisfied with it. So let's just see how it goes. Hey, Joseph from Facebook. What's up, man? What's up? I see everybody joining the room on Instagram. So you guys can, let me open up the phone lines here for you guys if anybody wants to call in. Hi, Stuart from Instagram. The number is 718-509-9270 inside the United States. Again, 718-509-9270. If you're calling from outside the United States, hey, Negan, King of Everything on YouTube. If you're calling from outside of the United States, the call is free if you use Skype, okay? So inside the U.S., you can call from any kind of phone. If you're outside the U.S. and you don't want to pay any international fees, use Skype. The call is free. So I'm hoping to get some calls from you guys tonight. Don't have any major topic planned for tonight. Figure we go over some of the latest news stories that are out there. Again, no news coming out of The Walking Dead or AMC about when and where we're going to see this finale. I'm hearing many different rumors, end of this month, June, July, August. Who the hell knows? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be sooner rather than later, but I just don't know. It sucks. They're not filming season 11. Season 11 is going to be delayed. I mean, season 11, was supposed to start this October. Now, hell, it may start June. It may start a year from now. I mean, how much does that suck? I mean, that really blows. Hi, Ismail, you're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I remember you from yesterday. I'm starting to remember all my regulars. A lot of you guys are regulars, and I thank you for joining me every night here on the show. It's very difficult during this show every night, trying to come up with some new topics, but I do want to do it every night. I want to talk to you guys. I want to get to know my followers. Hey, Boris. Thank you for waving at me. I know you can't see me, but I am waving back at my phone. So anyway, I prepared some news stories we can look over, read over together. I'm ready to take anybody's phone calls, your chats. What's today's topic? Well, today's topic is we're going to read over some of the latest news because there's really not much more to talk about as far as The Walking Dead goes. But you guys want to present a topic? I'm open to anything and everything, Walking Dead related or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to discuss whatever you guys want to talk about. Hey, Cad. Hey, Zorro. Spelled with an X. Very unique. How you doing, Zorros? So, like I said, I prepared some news stories. I'll be watching the phone lines if anybody calls in. So let's just see what we have here. As far as what's going on the news front, or rumor front, as I is more adequately stating it. So this first one, okay, this is an interesting story here. Let me go back out to the top. It's not just me who's struggling to find a topic to talk about or write about. Even these writers on these websites and blogs and so on, they're running out of stuff to write about The Walking Dead because, like I said, there's just no news coming out. So this one right here, okay, it's titled "The Walking Dead's Original Daryl Plan Wouldn't Have Worked," and I just lightly skimmed over this article. And I just want to go over it with you guys. So The Walking Dead originally had a very different plan for Daryl. Here's what it was and why it wouldn't have worked in the end. The Walking Dead originally had a very different plan for Daryl, but okay, I just read that part. Why are they repeating themselves? Daryl, who was introduced in only the third episode, is one of the last two remaining Season 1 characters, the other being Carol, played by Melissa McBride. After outlasting everyone else, Norman Reedus now has top billing in the show, which is nearing its 11th season and its 10th anniversary. For the most of the show, Daryl was Rick's right-hand man, his most trusted ally, and his brother. But things haven't always been that way. When Daryl first appeared on the show, he wasn't interested in making friends with Rick and his family. Daryl was intent on finding his brother, Merle, and furiously blamed Rick's people for his disappearance. Though the group's relationship with Daryl certainly got off to a rocky start, Daryl remained with Rick and the others and used his skills as a hunter and tracker to contribute a great deal to the group. From there, Daryl evolved into a fan favorite, but early scripts for The Walking Dead would have sent Daryl into a completely different direction. According to Norman Reedus, the original Daryl had a chip on his shoulder. He used drugs and was a bit of a racist. While Daryl exhibited some of these characteristics in Season 1, he ended up becoming someone else entirely. Reedus even says that he had to fight to change this plan, and thankfully he did. Reedus didn't want Daryl to be a full-blown Alcoholics Anonymous member. Instead, he wanted Daryl to be a character who could grow into somebody you respect. And we could all say we respect Daryl. Reedus says that now Daryl is super direct and honest. The Walking Dead Season 1 did have a moment where Daryl referred to Glenn as a Chinaman, unaware that the character is actually Korean. But though Daryl may have been slightly offensive and difficult to get along with in his earliest episodes, he wasn't a racist or a drug addict. If The Walking Dead had moved forward with this plan, it's hard to imagine Daryl ever gaining the popularity that he has today. First of all, the early version of Daryl sounds a lot like a replacement for Merle, whose antagonistic behavior made him someone who constantly clashed with the other characters. It would seem Daryl would have served as a foil character whose main purpose was to cause friction and conflict. If this is what they had done with Daryl, it's unlikely that he would have become a fan favorite. If he was presented as a character who fans couldn't care about or believe that he could be redeemed, eventually The Walking Dead would have moved on from him and killed him off. Fortunately, The Walking Dead opted not to take this path and instead gave fans what became of the show's most beloved characters. So there you go. 100% agree. They went completely in the right direction. I just want to say I see your guys' chats coming in as I'm reading. I wish I can multitask and talk to you guys while I'm reading, but I am looking at your chats. So hello to everybody who's waving. Hello to everybody who said hello. I see your chats coming in. Casa, I see you waving. Kat, I see you waving. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So going back to this article, yeah, apparently Daryl's character, because as I don't know if you guys know, Daryl was not in the comic books. He's a character that was just created for the TV show. So according to this article, the way they wrote Daryl's character in the beginning, he was supposed to be what Merle was, a racist, alcoholic, just mean-spirited bastard, and unredeemable, like Merle. Even though in the end he tried, Merle was pretty much unredeemable, Daryl's brother, and that's what they wanted Daryl's character to be. So I'm very glad that Norman Reedus talked him out of that. That would have been stupid. We would have lost a character that, we never would have known him, and we never would have known the Daryl that we have today. So I'm very glad that they did not go in that direction. So I'm sure you guys can all agree with that one. So moving on here, moving on. Another interesting headline that caught my attention. This one I did not read. I just barely skimmed over it. So Ismail writes, I have a theory about Rick and still in his coma, and he doesn't imagine all the post and the apocalyptic world that would really suck. Yep. Ismail, I agree. All right. So, The Walking Dead, Maggie's return will begin a new story. After recent interviews with Angela Kang regarding The Walking Dead Season 10 finale, she hints what Maggie's return will bring to the show. It's been over a year since we've seen our beloved Lauren Cohen present us with the character of Maggie Rhee. In fact, her last episode was also Andrew Lincoln's final episode. The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5, What Comes After. It was unknown if we would ever see Maggie on screen again, but after a lot of negotiation, Cohen and Kang worked out Maggie's return. We were told in 2019 that Maggie would be coming back in Season 10. We didn't know exactly when, but either way, we were very thankful. It seems she was planning for Maggie's return to take place near the end of Season 10, creating a huge story for her in Season 11. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly about the finale that will come later this year, Kang hinted at how Maggie's story will impact the group. We'll see. So, that's an excerpt for later. So what has Maggie been doing all this time? So far, The Walking Dead shared a teaser of her return in the opening minutes of the finale, showing her just getting the messages that Carol had sent her. Okay, so it was Carol that's been sending those messages that we see Maggie reading in the trailer for the episode 16. So moving on here, we aren't sure this is some crappy writing. Doesn't anybody proofread this? Oh my God, this doesn't make sense. We aren't sure it's taking her time to check for letters, or if this is a flashback to when the Pike scene took place. But even if flashback or present, why so long? What problems did she have during the Whisper arc? One theory is that Maggie is with the Commonwealth and has become the new Pamela. Others think she is working for Pamela, and for all we know, she is leading a whole new community by herself. It seems as though these opening minutes tease that Maggie may save them from Beta, but the question is how? Will Maggie come with powerful weapons and fighters? Maybe the masked ninja person? Something bigger than what we have seen before. Either way, we are extremely excited to see what Maggie has been up to all this time. Maybe we will get an entire flashback episode about her journey to now. It will be nice to see her reaction to the new savage villains, her reaction to Negan being released, let alone by Carol, will be a huge plot for the story, as well as his choices to help the group. How will the new characters react to Maggie since they've never met her, but hear a lot about her, and then misspelled here? So then they go on to basically ask for everyone's opinion. Oh man, that was hard to read. It was so fan-sided. I guess they don't have any proofreaders at fan-sided. So they had this interesting article, but looks like it was written by a 12-year-old. So I tried to do my best reading it, guys. I apologize for that, but that was just very incoherent. So anyway, going back, those are pretty much the two interesting headlines that I can find out there for today. There's not a whole lot of news out there. I wish I had more. Jabrak writes, Governor almost took Rick out. I don't know. You guys are having a whole conversation while I was reading. What are you guys talking about? I read an article and you guys have this whole... Wasn't anybody listening to me? I'm just teasing with you guys. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to get caught up on this conversation a little later on that you guys are having on Instagram. So like I said, I scoured the news and those were the two maybe remotely interesting headlines that I can read for tonight. Yeah, I could tell you guys were having a conversation. Jack Bragg, I had read it before. Well, okay. Alright. Well, I don't know. I'm glad you read it before. I skimmed through that last one, the Maggie article. I just, I didn't know if anybody had read it or not. I'm sure some people like yourself did. A lot of people didn't. Just trying to get some new info out there. So, like I said, scouring the news, those are the only two remotely interesting articles that I can find for tonight. So I can see people still coming into the room. The phone lines are open if anybody wishes to call. Again, the number is 718-509-9270. The call is free inside the U.S. If you're outside the U.S., you can use Skype and the call is free. Yes, Mayo, the Maggie article was poorly written. And I'm the poor bastard that had to read that poorly written article thinking that it was correctly written and me fumbling my way through it, trying to make sense of it. So if I would have known that, I would have, summarized it instead of reading it word for word. But anyway, that's done with. It's in the past. It's a done deal. It's over with, thank God. I'll remember for next time to exclude fan-sided from my from a website that I get my news from, or rumors or theories or whatever you want to call it. So, how are you guys hanging in there on this Sunday night? You guys heading back to work tomorrow? I know schools are closed. Anybody going back to work? Anybody? I'm sure a lot of people are still staying home. What's going on in the part of the world you're located in? So I'm looking up something here, so just bear with me 1 second. There we go. I figure we could look at a slideshow. That's Lizzie, all grown up, the Look at the Flowers girl. Good night, Nats. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Nelson. Thumbs up. Nelson Duarte on Instagram. Alright, YouTube. Eyes misunderstood. It's almost back to normal where I am. Houston. What do you mean, Eyes? Almost back to normal? What? Everything reopened again? Are the schools open? I wouldn't think so. So, I heard Texas is definitely full open as far as a lot of the restrictions that are going on elsewhere. So what exactly does back to normal mean? Eyes misunderstood from YouTube. Hey, Dan Gets One on Instagram. Back to season 1, Jack Bagenrive. Remember the crew that kidnapped Glenn? The group who was taking care of all the older adults. Anyone remember what happened to them? Was it told in a deleted scene? No. Jack, bragging, sorry. I've been calling you Jack. I'm going to call you Jack. It's easier to remember. No, I know exactly the group you're talking about. And it's the group that did kidnap Glenn when him and Rick went out to grab the guns that Rick dropped when he went into the tank. And we never saw them again. Okay, Rick, Glenn, and the group went their way. We don't know what happened to them at all. It would be nice to find out. They were just helping. They stayed around to take care of the elderly people because they were just abandoned. They didn't have a name. They were just a group of people who just stayed behind to take care of the elderly folks who were left to fend for themselves when the zombie breakout happened. And they ran across Glenn, and they tried to play some badasses, kidnap him. And Rick and Daryl confront them, and hi Jay, I see you on Instagram. And so basically, they were pointing guns at each other, Rick, Daryl, and that other group, until that old lady came in and, she asked them to go back because somebody was in trouble. And Rick and Daryl get escorted in the back, and they find out that Glenn is helping these old people. And Rick turns to them and said, "Do you guys realize we almost blew your heads off?" Or something to that nature. That was funny. But no, we do not know what happened to them. So Jack writes, "I thought, or maybe I'm wrong, there is a deleted scene." No, there's no deleted scene. Jay Aviera, The Walking Dead, loved. Hi. Hi, Jay. All right, Periscope message. Born Again writes, "My wife thinks zombies are coming." Born Again on Periscope. I know your message has been up there for a couple of minutes. Please tell me you're kidding. So Born Again from Twitter, watching this through Periscope, please tell me you're kidding. That your wife thinks that zombies are actually coming. Zombies don't exist. It is an idea that someone thought up of where the dead get reanimated and, start eating people. It is completely false. It is impossible. Once you are dead, you're not coming back. And especially, you're not coming back to eat people. It's fiction. It's made up. It's for our entertainment. So, yeah, you may have seen some news stories on the news about, this camera catching this guy who's gone completely bonkers, attacking and biting another human being. But here's the kicker. He's not dead. He may be having a psychotic break. He may be crazy. Well, he is if he's attacking somebody. He may have rabies. He may be foaming at the mouth. His eyes might be rolled to the back of his head. And you will look at him and say, "Holy shit, that is a zombie." But it's not. It's somebody living who is suffering some kind of a breakdown. So, Born Again, if you're still watching this, you can reassure your wife that zombies are not coming. And you know what? As we are all learning in real life, the real world is actually a lot scarier than what we see on TV or in the movies. So seeing a lot of the crap that's out there, not just this pandemic that we're in right now, just all the crap that we see on the news, it is true what to say. Real life is stranger than fiction. Ismail, are you talking to me? Are you asking me if I'm a Texan? Please tell me you're kidding. I love Texans, but are you asking me if I'm a Texan? I just want to make sure that question was directed to me. Ismail asked me on Instagram if I'm from Texas. Okay, Deb says yes, so I assume you were talking to Deb and not me. Yeah, because I don't think You're talking to me, Ismail? No, Ismail, I'm not from Texas. I'm from New York City. I'm not from Texas. I have all the love from my Texas peeps out there. But no, I was born and raised for the first half of my life. Born and raised New Yorker. New York City, Queens. I've actually never even been to Texas. Hi, Omise, for real. I see you waving. No, Rick is not dead. It amazes me that people don't know. It's been a year and a half since we saw him, be taken off in that helicopter. And there are a lot of people out there that don't know what ended happening to Rick. Now, I don't blame you guys. A lot of people, if you're living outside the United States. Hi, Mila. A lot of people who are living outside the United States, a lot of them don't have access to season 9 yet, whether it's on Netflix or whatever streaming service they're watching this from. Hey, Mila, I'm waving back at you. So I don't blame them. So they really don't know. Now, if you guys are living outside the United States and you're only have access like on Netflix or whatever you have to watch, and if you have internet, there are ways for you guys to get the newer episodes. There are ways for you guys to get season 9 of The Walking Dead. There are ways for you guys to get season 10 of The Walking Dead. Don't think that you are restricted to just what Netflix or whatever your TV is showing you. Deb, yeah, she agrees with me. Real life is scary. It is, Deb. It is extremely scary. Jack writes, what is your favorite zombie movie? Favorite zombie movie? Okay, we got to go back to the original George Romero movies. So let's see. We have Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. I love Night of the Living Dead. Out of all those three, Dawn of the Dead is my favorite. And then I like Day of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead as well. Deb's in Jersey. There you go, Deb. Jersey. Are you like close to New York City, Jersey? Or are you more like Cherry Hill, New Jersey? So are you like Hoboken, Jersey? Or Cherry Hill, Jersey? You know? I think that's an interesting question to ask. Jersey has to be divided into sections. So yeah, that's my favorite zombie movie is Dawn of the Dead. Hey, Stab. Lamps 42. IAMPS 42. The screen was bright and I just saw the amp, so I'm sorry. IAMPS. There, I'm giving a shout out to I_AMPSS. 3 S's. No, it's 2 S's. I_AMP SS42. I'm giving a shout out to you. There you go. Jack writes, can you quote any lines from any of those? Oh, shoot. Damn. I've seen them all multiple times. It's been a while since I've last seen them. I remember in Dawn of the Dead where the two guys, and one of them is Roger. I forgot the other guy's name, dude. Anyway, they're standing in the mall, and they're looking out. They're standing on the second level on the mall, overlooking the front entry. And they're talking to each other, and one guy tells to the other story how his granddad told him that something along the lines that when hell or something is full, the dead are going to be returned to roam this earth. So I guess that doesn't count. It's not a direct quote, and I'm just having a brain fart. I'm sure after I get done with this broadcast, I'm going to have dozens of quotes come back flooding into my head right now, but right now I'm drawing a blank. All right, Deb, you're a half hour from the city. All right. So I'm gonna label you Hoboken Deb. Does that sit okay with you, Hoboken Deb, or does that offend you? Jack, the dead will walk the earth. Yes, that is the quote. Thank you. All right, Jack, you need to back me up. You got to be in here every night to back me up, because you're putting my feet to the fire. And I like that. I like being challenged. Favorite line of The Walking Dead? I mean, come on. It has to be Rick saying, "We are the Walking Dead." Flyboy. That's Roger, right? Flyboy was Roger, the white dude. Am I correct? I believe his name was Roger. Deb writes, I'm second to you in the virus. Yes. Okay, you see, I got that right. I got a name right. All right, you got to give me props for that, okay? Ismail, yeah, we are the Walking Dead. You know, Rick, when they're in that abandoned train car at Terminus, and he looks at the group, and in the AMC version, he says, well, they just made a big mistake. And somebody asks him why. They're messing with the wrong people. But there's actually two different versions of that line on the DVD, or if you have the streaming version on Vudu or whatever. He says, you know, they're effing with the wrong people. Jack, favorite Walking Dead quote is Herschel. What do you mean by that? Deb, Hoboken is okay. Hey, Frank Sinatra is from Hoboken. So, whenever we drive up, I still, my family still lives in New York City, and driving up before we get through on the Lincoln Tunnel, drive right through Hoboken. I'm like, oh, geez. I'm not a big fan of Hoboken. Exactly, Ismail. Yep. I'm trying to keep this show, with me not saying the F word, I'm trying to keep it clean, And as a New Yorker, that's kind of very hard for me to do, but I think I'm doing pretty good so far. Because I do, just wish I can turn off all the filters, but I do know that we have all age ranges watching this show, and I'm sure they know words way worse than I even know, but I still want to keep it as clean as possible. So Jack writes, remember him talking to Rick. All right. That's also the, when they were in that episode, it's called The Letter A. That was the train cart they were in. That's when Rick and Michonne get to meet Abraham, Rosita, all for the first time. Deb writes, my dad was from Jersey. So your family's been in Jersey for a long time. Hey, Alyssa. Big thumbs up to you. Alison Tori 38559 on Instagram, giving you back a big thumbs up. Deb 2183 Jersey City. There you go. Jersey's cool. Jersey has a very unique personality to it. Similar, but yet very different from across the Hudson River in New York City. Similar in a lot of ways, different in a lot of ways. Deb, if you want, we'll give you guys Staten Island. No, I'm just messing with you. No offense to anybody listening from Staten Island. I love all my 5 boroughs. I wouldn't give you guys anything. I wouldn't give you guys up for anything. I love my hometown. I love where I'm from. I'm living in suburbia now, outside of our nation's capital, but it's suburbia. So it's very different from what I'm used to. 59 years, wow. Amazing. Actually, this December for me is going to be sort of an anniversary that only I really know about. This December 2020, I am going to reach exactly the halfway point where I've spent half my life in New York City and the other half where I am now in the DC suburbs. And then the day after that anniversary, I would have spent more time down here than being in New York. And I'm like thinking to myself, do I lose my New Yorker status after that? And I'm like, no, I'm never going to lose my New Yorker status. Jack writes, you step outside, you risk your life. You take a drink of water, you risk your life. And nowadays you breathe, you risk your life. And you are absolutely 100%, Jack. What line is that from? Because you write exact line. What line is that? What movie or TV show is that line from? I missed the earlier part of the conversation. I apologize. Herschel. Yeah. Herschel had a huge impact on Rick. I remember Herschel just before he got his head cut off by the governor and listening to Rick speak, giving his speech on how, Rick's group and the governor can coexist. They can live in the prison together. And for a very split second, maybe even none at all, you kind of look at the governor and he looks down, he looks up, calls him a liar, and then he just slices Herschel's head, his throat. What an evil, sadistic bastard the governor was. What more proof do we need than when he mowed down his own people from retreating out of the prison? He mowed all of them down. I'm like, dude, the guy was a psychopath. He was a psychopath. As opposed to Negan. Negan's not a psychopath. He wasn't a psychopath with the Saviors. Negan's not a psychopath. He was cunning. He's very smart. He was repressing all his feelings for his wife, Lucille. But, the governor, he had no soul. He was probably a psychopath before the apocalypse. And the apocalypse just allowed him to just come out in the open with it. He played the role very well of pretending to be everyone's best friend. But at the end of the day, dude, the guy was just stone cold. Jack writes he was more brutal in the comics. Yep. Mia Beth, the governor is even worse in the comics. There you go. You guys both agree. He was worse in the comics. Well, now how about Negan in the comics? Every other word out of his mouth was the F word. Before his character was introduced on the show, I'm like, how are they going to work that out? I mean, literally, in the comic books, almost every other word out of Negan's mouth was the F word. And I think they did it nicely, It sort of makes you kind of forget that part of the comic books Negan. It makes you kind of forget it. And you got to give all that credit to the actor, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, He did it so well that, you forgot that this is supposed to be a guy whose every other word is the F word. Jack writes, the worst character death, hands down, Tyrese. It was pathetic, rushed. So I'm assuming when you say worst character death, you're talking about how they wrote it. Because in my opinion, as far as the most brutal death, I know a lot of people say Glenn and Abraham. I put them at second. I think the one person, because we got to see it happen, Noah's death, getting eaten alive in front of Glenn in that revolving door, because Nicholas cowered it out, and Noah getting eaten alive in front of Glenn, and because we got to see it unfold on the screen, to me that's the most brutal scene, the most brutal death, gruesome death that we have seen on The Walking Dead. Tyrese, yeah, it was rushed. I agree with you, He had all those hallucinations. He was bit, and he died. They weren't able to save him in time. They cut off that limb. Yeah, I get you, Jack. It was poorly written. A lot of people feel the same way about Carl's death, and I've explained numerous times, why I felt they felt the need that they had to kill Carl off so Rick can spare Negan. So, that is the one thing I don't like about, Fear the Walking Dead. I don't hate Fear the Walking Dead. I think it's pretty decent. But all the major characters who have died on Fear the Walking Dead were given horribly written deaths. Getting shot up while flying out in a helicopter. Madison, who supposedly burned in the stadium, who may or may not come back to the show. Is she dead or is she alive? Nick being shot by Charlie. I mean, shit. None of the major characters got, the death they deserve on Fear the Walking Dead. Jack, you're talking about Fear? You think Fear is going to be canceled? Maybe another season and that's going to be off the air? Wagner, thumbs up on that. Thank you. So, Jack, you're saying that after this season, Fear the Walking Dead is going to be canceled. Let me know if I'm correct. But yeah, the whole death scenes they give all the major characters on Fear, it really leaves you empty inside. I'm like, God, you've been through this adventure with these guys, and they're given these horrible deaths. No. You're talking about The Walking Dead one more season. No. The Walking Dead is going to at least go through 12 seasons. That's been very much inferred. AMC is going to at least go through 12 seasons of The Walking Dead. And there might be more, or there might not be more, but it's going to be at least another 2 more seasons. They're not going to end it after season 11. It doesn't give them enough time to wrap it up, and they're still, it's one of the top 3 Sunday night shows still. So no, they're going to keep milking it for as long as they can. And there's also rumors out there that Rick may come back for the series finale. I don't really see that happening now, especially since the Rick movies are delayed. Depending on when they do end the series, if it is after season 12, I really don't see them bringing Rick back for that. We don't know what ends up happening to Rick. Like, let's say in the 3rd movie that's going to come out several years from now. Oh boy. Jack writes, can you imagine the show if Frank Darabont had stayed? Yeah. That would have been pretty goddamn cool. Hey, it's JP. Thumbs back to you, man. Thumbs up back to you. So anyway, guys. Wow, time flies. It's almost been an hour. We are approaching our Instagram streaming limit. Instagram, they're meanies. They only allow you to live stream for 1 hour. The lowest out of all the social media platforms. So, anyway, this show is being multicasted to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Have I ever taken the Walking Dead tour? No. I haven't been in Georgia in a long time. So I would love to be able to, you know what I'm saying? I would love to be able to take that tour. I have seen pictures that people have posted, of the Trash People Sanctuary and some other famous sites. I hear it's a very interesting tour. Ismail writes, the episode where Rick killed the Savior's outpost, it was really bad. They turned out to be the bad guys in the scenario, and I understand Negan's position. I agree too. They slaughtered people in their sleep. I mean, really? This is soon after they come in from Terminus into Alexandria, meet up with Jesus, get introduced to Hilltop. Yeah, it was a bad moment for Rick and his group. They agree to the Weasel Greg, the leader of Hilltop. Yeah, we'll go slaughter these people just based on your word. And, I think Rick regretted it very soon afterwards. And he stirred up a big pile of shit. That got a lot of people killed. Jack writes, you can tour the governor's arena. Wow. The Walking Dead tour is at in Georgia, in the small town of what's it called? Sequoia, something like that. That's the town where they filmed the show. If you guys are interested, go on Google Maps. Go on Google Maps and type in the Walking Dead location, and it will show you directly on Google Maps some of the landmarks of where the show is filmed. So after this show ends, go open up Google Maps, type in the Walking Dead locations, and it's really freaking cool. And if you zoom in to street level, you will see all those landmarks. And it shows you exactly where the show is filmed. I mean, you don't need, it's not filmed in some super secret location or a studio. They film it in Georgia. And yeah, just go to Google Maps, type it in, and you'll see it. You'll see it. So after this show ends, do that, guys. I found that out a while ago, you know? It's really cool. It's really, really, really cool. You know, being in Virginia now, you know, I think they're doing a pretty decent job portraying Georgia as Virginia. It's, you know, Sonoya. Yeah, that's what it is. I got it right, Jack. You got to give me credit. I got that one right, okay? I know you like to hold my feet to the fire, and you seem to be like the human knowledge of, you know, zombie movies and The Walking Dead. And I appreciate the challenge you have given me tonight. And I'm trying to live up to that challenge. You know? Next time I see you come into the room, I'm going to make sure I have the Wikipedia open on my computer. And you're not going to be able to trip me up next time. JP7 writes, I really want to meet everyone in The Walking Dead one day. I would too. Hey, Deborah, hello. You know, best way to do that is go to Comic-Con. But, you know, in San Diego, the hall where The Walking Dead holds their little conference, I believe they call it Hall H or something like that, that is just hard to get into, even if you're lucky enough to get tickets to Comic-Con. Jack writes, here's a weird part of the show. Remember when Rick's group had the upper hand on Negan's group? Then mysteriously they got guns again. Yeah. Yep. I remember that. I do broadcast. This is my 9th day in a row broadcasting. You know, my wife says, you can't be doing it every night. You know, I say, why not? Why not? I like being live. You know, I could record this show and get it all edited and have no mistakes. And instead of me guys answering your questions by voice, I can type. I don't want to freaking do that. I'm a human being. I mean, I like going on live. I like making mistakes. I like begging you guys to call me, and one day I'm going to get I've gotten calls. You know, I'm going to get more calls in the future. I got to keep telling myself that. You know, that's why I told you guys, you know, call now, because in the future you won't be able to get through. The show is going to be jam-packed. It's going to be jam-packed. Do a Walking Dead quiz. Oh, you know, I thought of that. It's kind of corny. So, maybe you want me to take a request to go live with you? How does that work out? On Instagram. When I start the show, I see the little thing pop up to create a request, but it's already when I started filming. I mean, when I started doing the live show. But I see the thing pop up. I don't know exactly, you know, here I'm a one-man show. I'm doing this by myself. So I'm literally controlling the slides that you see on your screen. I have to monitor the chats. Luckily, I can monitor 3 out of the 4 chats on one window using the service that I use. Instagram, of course, wants to be different. So I got to monitor the Instagram chats on Instagram. And it's very hard because I'm multitasking. So the request thing is, you say, take a request to go live with you. If I request, you can let me go live with you. Okay. Yeah, you see, it's a little complicated now because obviously, from what you're seeing, I am not live streaming from my phone. I have this whole setup. I'm multi-streaming to all the different social networks. I'm doing it through a PC. And for me to be able to see the Instagram live session, which I have up in front of me on my phone right now, I can't actually even do it on the account that I'm streaming with. I actually have to use my personal account, which is what I'm using now, to view my Instagram Walking Dead feed. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if that makes sense to you. So you're right, if I request, you can let me go live with you and see chat still. That's right. And then Jack writes, true, makes sense. Yeah, I'm a one-man show, you know. I've got 3 teenagers, but they're not interested in helping me out. They'd rather go play their games. But hey, you know what? I'm a one-man show. It's fun. I think I'm doing pretty good, trying to keep everything straight. I've got like 12 windows opened up on my PC here. So I think I'm doing pretty cool. Joy writes, when they'll post 16th episode of season 10, we don't know. We really don't know. Ismail writes, this is more fun than games. Right. You guys agree with me, right? You'd rather see me live than have me freaking record this, edit it, and then broadcast it live. Give me a thumbs up if you guys agree with my decision to stay live here. And just wing it. And just see whatever pops up, talk to you guys as your chats come through and so on. Jack writes, my profile pic is the background from season 1 when Rick rides the horse in Atlanta. Okay, Shop With Me agrees. All right, Ismail agrees. Good. Everybody agrees. Good. I'm staying live because that's what I want to do. I'm not here to try to be a perfectionist and try to make no mistakes on the air or anything like that. I want to be sincere. I want to connect with my followers. I love you guys. You guys are loyal. You're wonderful. You're great. Hope you guys are subscribing to me on YouTube. You know, my YouTube channel is called Walking Dead Now. The web address is twdnow.com. You know, the best way you guys can show me support, as you do on Instagram, is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because my following, I'm all about displaying you guys our videos and fan videos from other digital creators around the world who submit their videos to us to get it out there to a larger following. We have over 107,000 followers through all our social media accounts combined. That's a pretty decent following, and it's a good way to get these people's videos viewed. So you're right, UY should keep up the good work. We'll have more viewers by the day. You'll see. Thanks, man. How many Walking Dead actors have you met in person? Well, not any yet, but I'm hoping that's going to change soon. And we're really down to the last 2 minutes before Instagram kicks us off, guys. I really hate to rush this, but literally, Instagram is going to cut the feed in less than 2 minutes. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm usually on anywhere between 9 and midnight East Coast time. So we're about to get kicked off by Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Message me on Instagram. Go to my YouTube. I have my email address up there. Contact me. I will reply back to all you guys within 12 to 24 hours or less for anybody that wants to message me. Email me, you know. Call me while I'm on the show. I have a number up there. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys have been great. Until tomorrow, guys, stay walking.